Breaking news! Imagine waking up in the middle of NFL cuts week and discovering that something completely unexpected has happened in the locker room. A move no one saw coming, one that not even the most knowledgeable insiders dared mention. A decision so surprising that it completely changed the roster outlook, messed up projections, and raised suspicions that something much bigger was at play. While everyone was focusing on one position, the behind-the-scenes movement was moving in another direction, and now everything indicates a bombshell is coming. I'll tell you everything, but first, be sure to hit the like button and comment below. Which position do you think urgently needs reinforcement? What if I told you the Minnesota Vikings just made a move so surprising, so out of left field, that even the most dialed-in fans and insiders didn't see it coming? That a player who was practically penciled into the 53-man roster is suddenly on the way out, and it's not just a random depth cut, but a defensive standout who showed real promise this preseason. Gabe Murphy, edge rusher, gone, waived, just like that, and now, the buzz is deafening. What's next? Is there a bigger plan in motion? Let's break this down because it's not just about one surprising cut. It's part of a larger wave of decisions that could reshape the Vikings' identity heading into this season. First, let's talk Gabe Murphy. This wasn't some camp body. This was a guy who had a sack and a half in the preseason, flashed edge speed, and looked poised to slot in as the fourth rusher behind Dallas Turner, Jonathan Greenwood, and Andrew Van Ginkel. That edge rotation seemed locked until it wasn't. Now, maybe Bo Richter gets a chance. Maybe there's another move brewing. But make no mistake, cutting Murphy wasn't on anyone's bingo card. Every 53-man projection had him making the roster. So for the Vikings to move on this decisively, you have to wonder, do they know something we don't? And it doesn't stop there. Two new wide receiver targets have suddenly emerged, both recently cut and now sitting on the open market, ripe for the picking. First up, Trey Palmer, the speedster from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This guy isn't just fast, he's explosive. Electric with the ball in his hands. He's the kind of player who can flip a game with one touch. And with the Vikings needing a punt returner, something they flat out ignored after letting King Wangwa go, Palmer could be that solution. He's not just a gadget guy. He's a field stretcher. A space creator. And let's be honest, with guys like Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison on the field, Palmer could feast on space and mismatches. Tampa's loaded WR room is the only reason he's available. Minnesota would be wise to make the call. But what if you want familiarity? What if the Vikings could get a steady pair of hands back into the building without overpaying? That's where KJ Osborne comes in. Just released by the Washington Commanders, KJ doesn't even need to pass through waivers. He's a vested veteran. That means he could sign today. Right now. And wouldn't that be something? A homecoming of sorts. Osborne knows the system, knows Kevin O'Connell's offense, knows what it takes to contribute in this locker room. From 2021 to 2023, he was as solid a WR3 as you could ask for. Sure, he had drop issues. Sure, he faded a bit after leaving Minnesota. But context matters. Playing next to Jefferson and Addison is a luxury few wideouts get. You put him back in that mix, and who knows? Maybe you get a rejuvenated WR3 ready to prove something. But make no mistake, if Osborne is the only move, Vikings fans should raise an eyebrow. That can't be it. Because right now, without Addison, who's lining up next to Jefferson? Is it KJ? Ty Felton? Tim Jones? Jan Jones? The uncertainty is real. So yes, bring Osborne home, but only if he's part of a broader plan. And that plan might already be in motion. Let's talk about GM Kwesi Adofo-Mensah. The guy is stockpiling assets like a man preparing for something big. The Vikings now have 11 picks in the 2026 NFL Draft, a huge turnaround from the draft drought just 1 year ago. Only 4 picks last season. Only 1 in the top 100. Now, they've got a first, second, third, a projected comp third, Sam Darnold, a comp fourth, Daniel Jones, 3 fifths, including picks from the Sam Howell and Cam Robinson trades, plus a 6th and 2 sevenths. That's a war chest. That's ammunition. And it's not for nothing. Add in $31.5 million in cap space, and the Vikings are suddenly in a position where they can make any move they want. Need to absorb a big contract? No problem. Want to swing big for a superstar? The pieces are there. Which begs the question, what's the play? Is it a reunion with Adam Thielen? There's buzz. He reportedly wants to return. And Carolina might be holding out for a fifth-rounder. With 3 of them on hand, the Vikings can make that happen tomorrow. Is it a buy low trade for Alec Pierce or Jacoby Myers? Both would add serious value and experience to the WR room. Myers' $30 million per year price tag might be high, but what if the Vikings could negotiate it down? At $25 million, it starts to look more like an investment than a risk. And then there's the nuclear option, Tyreek Hill. Yes, Hill. Reports say a third-round pick might get it done. If that's true, and if the Vikings really believe they're contenders, why not go for it? Pairing Hill with Jefferson and Addison would instantly give Minnesota the most dangerous WR trio in NFL history. Not just in talent, but in pure matchup nightmares. No defense could plan for that. And the WR targets don't end there. Mecole Hardman could be a smart pickup, speed, gadget potential, special teams ability. Jalen Hyatt? Another burner with untapped upside. The Giants might be willing to deal. The point is, the Vikings have options. Real ones. And a front office that seems willing to act. So the question isn't if Minnesota is planning something big, it's when. This team is sitting on draft capital, cap space, and a roster that, despite some questions, is built to win now. The front office is being aggressive. The pieces are moving. Something's coming. What do you think, Vikings fans? Should the team go all in for a superstar WR? Should they bring KJ Osborne back or wait for Thielen? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if the whispers around TCO Performance Center are to be believed, Kwesi Adofo-Mensah might not be done making noise. The trade that sent cornerback Mekhi Blackman packing was more than just a depth reshuffle, it was a chess move. One that added yet another draft pick to the 2026 stockpile. 11 picks now. That's not a coincidence. That's a statement. You don't gather that kind of capital if you're not planning something. Whether it's a bold midseason trade or a strategy to move up and dominate a future draft class, the Vikings are clearly operating with long-term vision without sacrificing short-term potential. And let's not forget, cap space speaks louder than words. With $31.5 million free, the Vikings can take on any contract, absorb any deal, and say yes to any opportunity. That flexibility is gold in a league where injuries, unexpected releases, and surprise trades shake things up every week. And then there's the Noah Igbinoghene angle, a former first-rounder with underwhelming results, but a connection to Brian Flores. That's not smoke, that's a spark. With only 5 corners currently on the final roster, including 2 UDFAs, the Vikings could easily take a flyer on a guy like Igbinoghene and try to revive his career under Flores' aggressive scheme. Low risk, potential high reward. All of this adds up to a front office that's aggressive, calculated, and clearly not sitting still. We're in a new era of Vikings football, one where big swings are encouraged, depth matters, and no position group is off the radar. The message is loud and clear, the Vikings are not rebuilding. They're retooling. Reloading. And maybe, just maybe, they're getting ready to shock the league. But now, it's your turn, Vikings Nation. What do you think Kwesi should do next? Is there a dream trade target on your radar? Are you ready to see a blockbuster move, or should the team stay patient and trust the process? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. And if you haven't yet, hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss a single Vikings update. This season is just getting started, and trust me, you'll want to be along for the ride. SKOL!